with you.
Now, women in England are going to be given a choice of where they give birth. By 2009, expectant mothers will be able to choose whether they go to hospital or stay at home to give birth. Every pregnant woman in England is to be given the choice of home birth. Details of the move to give expectant mothers more choice about where they will give birth will be unveiled today. A woman will get to know a team of perhaps 2 or 3 midwives throughout her pregnancy, with one of them delivering the baby.
Now, joining us on the sofa, me, Katie and Belle, that is, we've got the lovely Valerie Gommon, an independent midwife. Hello, Valerie.
Hello there.
Now, there's probably more people on this couch than you've got midwives available, haven't you, to do all this?
I'm not sure about that, but certainly there is a shortage of midwives, yes.
I mean, if you're going to be doing all this extra and being able to give them even more choices and have 2 or 3 to be with you throughout the whole pregnancy, you're going to need loads more, aren't you?
No, I don't think that's the case. What we need to do is, in my opinion, is to reorganise the maternity services. What I would advocate is that each woman needs to have a known midwife throughout her pregnancy, her labour and birth, and her postnatal period. And that doesn't mean to say you're going to need 3 midwives all the time. Perhaps there might be two midwives at the actual birth, but yeah.
So why is it such a big deal? Why do women want to give birth at home, as someone who hasn't had a baby yet? So.
Because home is wonderful. It's so much more relaxing in your own environment. It's been proven that women have shorter labours, less need for drugs, greater satisfaction, less postnatal depression. More women breastfeed. There are really lots of reasons to give birth at home.
Well, I thought it was frowned upon up till now, and only, no, we want you in hospital in case anything goes wrong. Everything's there needed for you.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think midwives are very pro-home birth, and women have always had babies at home. But the trend perhaps since the sort of 70s has been for women to give birth in hospital.
Belle, you've got children, haven't you? So as someone who has children, would you have preferred to have this option? I mean, I don't know if you did have children at home, but would you have preferred it to be?
I was interested you were coming in because I was going to ask you. When I was pregnant with twins, home birth was something that I really was interested in, and had I had one on the way, it would have been very much an option for me, but I was advised against it. So is this something that you will be able to offer mothers who are expecting more than one?
Absolutely. I mean, some women do choose to give birth to their twins at home, although perhaps the medical fraternity would suggest that twins are more high risk. But it's always your choice. It's always a woman's choice where she has her baby.
So there will be the midwives, because obviously with 2 you need 2 midwives.
You do.
You need more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't it put more pressure on the likes of you if you're not in like a hospital or a maternity wing where you've got all the backup and the support? If you're stuck at someone's house and things start going wrong, I mean...
Well, midwives are trained. We're trained to deal with any eventuality. If we need to transfer to hospital, then that's what we do. Things don't usually go wrong in a hurry in a labour. I can make that decision that this labour's not progressing, and transfer safely into hospital.
So what was happening before? Was it you definitely weren't allowed to have home birth if they thought it was a risk at all?
No, it's always been a woman's choice, although women would often be strongly advised by doctors to give birth in hospital, and most women do toe the line, do defer to doctors. But there are...
Welcome back to MK Tonight. I'm Richard, she's Katie, and that's the lovely Belle over there. And we've also got Valerie Gommon, who's an independent midwife in with us today, because of course women in England are going to be given the choice of where they give birth. By 2009, expectant mothers will be able to choose whether they go to hospital or stay at home to give birth. So, I mean, that's why I was saying a little earlier, Valerie, I got the impression you didn't have a choice to go at home. Everyone tried to push you into the hospitals, but not the...
No, women certainly do have a choice. There's a campaign called One Mother, One Midwife campaign, which supports the right of a woman to have a known midwife throughout the whole of her care. And that's certainly something I would support.
And that's important, is it? You've had twins, haven't you, Belle? Would you say it's important to have the same person every time you Sometimes it's like having a doctor visit. If you have a different person, it's
Yeah.
not quite right.
It would have been great. I ended up giving birth in Birmingham because my little boys were 7 weeks early. And they needed to go into special care, and there weren't enough beds here in Milton Keynes, so I was whisked up in an ambulance, lights flashing, to give birth in Birmingham, which was great. It worked out really well in the end. But I was going to ask you, I was quite interested in having a water birth. Can you do that at home?
Oh, certainly. Probably not with your twins being
No.
7 weeks early.
No.
I mean,
Oh,
that
no,
would
no,
be a
no.
good reason.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
water birth at home is fantastic.
Would you just use the paddling pool, or would you
Well,
get a proper thing?
to be honest, an inflatable birth pool works
Yeah.
just as well,
Yeah.
or even the bath.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are all types
So
of
what's
birth
the
pools.
benefits of the water of the bath?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that you like having a bath. You find it relaxing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give birth to twins, though.
But imagine if you were heavily pregnant with twins, it would be quite difficult to move around, and being supported in the water is really great. It means the woman's much more mobile and therefore much more likely to give birth.
It sounds a daft question. Does that make them more aquatic? You know what I mean? If the fact that they're born
They've
into
been living
water,
in water for 9 months.
yeah, and all that. Yeah, see, I knew I was going to get kicked on. 'Cause I'm the only bloke. Boys behind the camera, please help me out. But no, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah, it's meant to be better,
is it
isn't
mentally sort of helps them come out better? You know what I mean?
We don't know
Going
that,
into-
but babies that are born into water are usually quite calm. They have a very gentle birth.
And the caesarean front then, I mean, what happens? You don't sometimes know you're going to have to do a caesarean until the last minute, so if you're stuck at home...
If you're at home, well, as I was saying earlier, I'm trained to detect any problems in a labour. So, there's no rush. On many occasions I've needed to transfer a client into hospital. So no rush, calm. I just discuss it with the woman and say, I really think we ought to be going into hospital. And
I mean, I guess you can call me a problem birth.
Well, it's not anything less.
Because I don't think my mum wanted to have me at home, but she did. I was very quick, and the doctor hadn't got there, so there was just one midwife. I was 12 pounds 2 ounces with my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. That's not the ideal home birth, is it?
well, I mean, obviously there were no problems. If a baby's coming that quickly,
Tell me mum now.
if a baby's coming that quickly, then usually it's absolutely fine. The cord around the neck, people are very frightened about that, but actually it's not a big deal. It's something we see all the time.
What is it that you love about your job? What is it that...
Gosh, I love being with women actually, and caring for a woman, supporting her, and nurturing her really through her pregnancy, helping her to make her own choices. Obviously, I mean, the baby coming is lovely, but that's a very small part of what I do. I'm ensuring the mother's well-being, emotional, physical well-being throughout her pregnancy, and also for a month afterwards.
Is it quite emotional for you? Do you notch them all up, as it were? Oh, yeah, here's another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, yeah.
And what is it that we can do to get more women into being midwives? What is it that's stopping? Why aren't women becoming midwives?
Actually, a lot of women do want to be midwives. There just aren't enough training places. I think we need to put more funding into training midwives. Yeah.
And is there lots of support groups and education and help in the MK area?
Well, there's the National Childbirth Trust who are very supportive of pregnant women. There are home birth support groups. Women can always contact me, and I can direct them on to what's available through my own website. Can I give that?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to say.
The number 3shiresmidwife.co.uk, and also if you put Valerie Gommon into a search engine, Milton Keynes, you'll find me.
Brilliant.
It's scaring me already. It's enough to put you off for life, isn't it?
It's not
at all.
There we go. So you would say you definitely would.
I would
another
have
time.
more.
I'm not saying that,
I'll
but
watch
I'm
it.
saying I would love to have had a home birth, and if it happened again, I would.
Yeah, I don't know how near you are to.
No,
to spreading,
I'm
but,
a little...
I mean, have you ever given that any thought?
No, I'm 21. Well, I'm not even 21, so
Talk to me later.
Yeah, give me a
I
little
have to
bit
tell you,
of time.
I've actually had 3 babies at home myself before I trained to be a midwife, and I think that's what led me to become a midwife, because it was such a positive
Is
experience.
it painful? Just
I think I mean a lot of women do find childbirth painful, but it's an overwhelming experience. I'd say it's a bit like running a marathon. It's
Oh, well, anyway, that's putting me off my tea. I don't know about you at home. Thank you very much, Valerie.